John Gotti, one of the most notorious mob bosses of all time, has been the subject of countless books, movies, and documentaries. But what was his life really like? How did he become a mob boss? And what impact did he have on organized crime? In this video we'll take a look into the life and legacy of John Gotti. Gotti was born on October 27, 1940, in the Queensboro of New York City. He was the third of 5 children born to Salvatore Gotti and his wife Virginia. His father immigrated to the United States from Sig, a village in the Campo Basso. His criminal career eventually came to an end in 1992 when he was convicted for several counts of murder, racketeering, extortion, gambling and tax evasion, and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Meanwhile, the legacy of the Teflon Don continues to live on. John Gotti's criminal career began in the 1960s and spanned almost 3 decades before it ultimately came to a head with his conviction in 1992. His conviction was the result of several counts of murder, racketeering, extortion, gambling, and tax evasion. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. John Gotti is widely considered to be one of the most influential figures in organized crime in the U.S. He rose through the ranks of the Gambino crime family and established it as one of the most powerful in the country. He became known as the Teflon Don due to his ability to dodge convictions, but was eventually convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Gotti's legacy as one of the most infamous figures in organized crime still lives on today, making his criminal career one of the most noteworthy and discussed in U.S. history. His leadership style was characterized by a mix of violent intimidation and shrewd business acumen, leading him to become known as the Teflon Don. As a result, his influence spread rapidly throughout organized crime networks, and he was able to create an international criminal organization that operated with impunity for many years. Meanwhile, John Gotti's reign as a crime lord was defined by his unique leadership style characterized by his skillful use of both violent intimidation and business savvy, which earned him the title of the Teflon Don. This successful mix of tactics enabled him to build an extensive criminal network that operated without consequence for a significant period of time. In conclusion, the life of John Gotti was filled with crime and controversy. He rose to power quickly, becoming a boss of one of the most powerful organized crime families in America. While his influence was undeniable, it would be wrong to say he had a positive impact on organized crime. His fiery temper, penchant for violence, and disrespect for the law has done irreparable damage to the reputation of organized crime and has set a dangerous precedent for future mob bosses. John Gotti was a New York City mobster and head of the Gambino crime family from 1985 to 1991. He became known as the Teflon Don because of his ability to evade convictions on criminal charges, many of which were attempted murder and racketeering. In 1986, he was tried and acquitted of 5 murders and other Mafia-related crimes. However, the trial was marred by allegations of witness tampering and jury tampering on the part of Gotti's supporters. He was later convicted in 1992, after being implicated in an FBI wiretap investigation, and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Gotti died in prison in 2002 while serving his sentence, leaving behind a legacy of notoriety and infamy rooted in his criminal career.